And we're back. First things first. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night, people. Deluded. I'm back again. Now, I wouldn't say it was all gravy and all great for Arsenal Football Club, this season. We have been nitpicking. We have, from August, we've been picking up results. We have spoken about attacking play, proactiveness, this player, that player. Generally, we've been ticking along, until the recent weeks was fighting on all fronts. We did well to get to the latter stage of the season, and it feels like beyond the obvious of getting to that League Cup final, when we got to the League Cup final, if you deep it, the second half to now, everything around our club has kind of been negative. Now, the good, the bad, and the ugly is we're in back-to-back semi-finals. We're still top in the Premier League. Obviously, we know the negatives around our club. We know it's last chance saloon. And for me as an Arsenal fan, like, back-to-back semi-finals, at the first time of asking in that, which is another thing we haven't done in our history, which again reflects that we're a good team with a good manager and some good individuals, but we want greatness. If we want to be something that we've never been, if we want to make history in terms of lifting up trophies and get to a realm that we've never been, then the manager and the players, systemically, tactically, individually, you've all got to be different beasts. It's a shootout. I'll support these boys all the way. I hope for a miracle. But at the end of the day, yeah, the eye test is completely positive where City's concerned. For us, it isn't that. Do I trust you lot in a straight shootout? And what I mean by this is if you go and win on Sunday, which I want, I still don't think the Premier League's over. I think it goes to the last day of the season. So by that logic, if the negative happens on Sunday, then I can't say all hope is lost. But we need to build some momentum. We've hit a buffer. Yes, we've sandwiched in, going through to the next round of the Champions League. Everything domestically has been poor, really since the Everton game. And that's probably why, despite the fact that we're top of the Premier League, we're back-to-back semi-finals, why it doesn't quite feel like that, because it is quote-unquote papering over a cracks. Now, the good thing is tomorrow always provides a new day. It's up to the players and the manager now. Can you go to City where momentum's with them? The manager and Pep Guardiola's making it happen. Individually and collectively, they're doing what they need to do. Got the bit between their teeth after going out of the Champions League, dealing with us, dealing with Liverpool, dealing with Chelsea, and all of those things, where consequently you flip that onto us. You get where I'm going. I do think sandwiched in this kind of rot we've been in, I understand why we needed a performance and we want to see stuff. And by no means was the first leg or the second leg amazing. But I do think there was an intent from us yesterday. I think, obviously I'm not happy, but there was an intent. There was a desire to go forward. There were improvements. The same thing in the first leg. Domestically, it hasn't been on par. The lowest moment, I can't really see. I don't know, man, because the League Cup final is definitely a low point. You're in a final. It's never nice to lose it, but it's mainly the manner of what we did. I would say Bournemouth, man, the performance from everything, from those that actually make the decisions at this football club, it was quite flat. Now we have to get on with it. How badly do you lot want to get over the line? Again, talking about statistics, April's quite good to Manchester City. It's poor to us. Life at times is about moments, because the same City side that camped in their own half trying to defend their league at the Emirates is not what you're going to see at their place. Obviously, we haven't beat them at the Etihad in the Premier League since Santi Cazorla and Francis Coquelin. But this is the realm you're in. If you want to get to that scenario, you need to get it done. And by all means, I've had all the question marks about our individuals and their form and the tactics. I'm at the point, just get the job done. It don't have to be pretty. And that's what it was against Sporting. I do think there were several improvements. Is it what you want to see? Is it eye-catching? 100% it's not. But then you also have to isolate the Champions League and say when you're in it, you want to try and win it. Obviously, it's just about doing the job. And we've done that. And it's not that Arsenal fans, we disrespect the Champions League or anything like that. It's because of what we've been doing domestically, that's kind of, and it's a bit disrespectful to the Champions League, to ourselves and the opportunity we have. And actually, Sporting Lisbon, all the talking points, definitely in the watch-along we did yesterday, has been about that. But this is the most important, I maintain it, this is the most important week of Mikel Arteta's 6 years as an Arsenal manager. And this will be the period, there's obviously been highs and lows, but this will be the period you either look back at me and say, that's when we, that's when we got our act together, or that's really and truly when we've crumbled. So you'll have my support. I'm walking into the fire with you. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't put a damn penny on us beating Manchester City on Sunday. But get on with it now, man. Get on with it. Would you rather die on your feet or live on your knees? I know I'd rather go out kicking and screaming in the same way we all came into this world, didn't it? But yeah, we drew against Sporting. Obviously, we're through. Back-to-back semi-finals for the first time in our history. And a game against Atletico Madrid, people, awaits. Now, we beat PSG. Again, we're talking about moments, right? PSG were in a very negative moment when we played them in the league phase versus the knockouts. and we kind of maintained. So again, I'm not taking too much stock in the fact that we beat Atletico Madrid in the league phase versus now. Obviously, that gives you confidence. It shows that it can be done. They've got things to fear, as do we. Obviously, we need to get through Atletico Madrid. You look at the other draw, Bayern Munich can't be stopped. Harry Kane and Elise on course to get on course for Ballon d'Or shouts, depending on what happens, not just in the Champions League, but obviously in the World Cup. Their manager company, it's a madness. And I know Pep's gone out of the Champions League, but he must be laughing because when he gets beyond his pain of seeing Manchester City go out, his boy Luis Enrique is in the competition. His two sons in Mikel Arteta and company from the Pep Guardiola house of coaching are in the final. And you got your boy Simeone. He hates Real Madrid. You hate Real Madrid. They're all boys. Atletico Madrid do have tactical nous, do have individual quality, do have a siege mentality, have been to the latter stages more consistently than us. I don't need to tell you about Luis Enrique because I think PSG, between Bayern and PSG, I give it PSG. I think they got the most balance in the Champions League, in world football, first of all. I think they've got the best manager in the last 12 months. I think they've got the best tactics, the best individuals, the best collective kind of play, the freedom within a framework, the ethos, tactically very impressed with Bayern Munich and PSG. I must admit, yeah, and this might not make sense, but you see the Premier League and what's left of the Premier League and things. I more think obviously the players are the ones playing in both games, and the manager has a say. Yeah, but for me, the Premier League is on Mikel Arteta. Obviously the players as well, but the Premier League, you've got to go and do your thing. The Champions League and what we have to play for, I'm not going to lie, it's on the players because company, bad boy, tactician, and doing great things at Bayern Munich. PSG the same with Luis Enrique, and obviously Atletico Madrid. In terms of a coach, whether I like it or not, Mikel Arteta, you have earned the praise from me to know that we're competitive again. We have been competitive for the last couple of years, right? We need to progress beyond being competitive to now winning the title. I've got complete faith in you, Arteta. I'm not saying it'll be pretty. I'm not saying I'll like it, but we're not gonna get embarrassed. You're gonna try and play to our strengths and not allow the oppositions to do theirs. Because when we went out the quarterfinals to Bayern Munich, I'm not happy not to go out, but it wasn't the historical games against Bayern Munich of the Emirates era. The same said the next year against Paris Saint-Germain. But when I look at PSG, beyond the obvious, Dembele bit between his teeth and all them other players, Baby Neymar, Doué, the list kind of goes on. You see what their fullbacks do, how they switch flanks and how sometimes they both are on the same side. Bayern Munich, Elise, Diaz, Harry Kane, this one, that one. I look at my boys and this is from a place of love. I'm thinking about the champs. Now I need you lot to go through purple patches because in the attack, it's really only 3 men that I'm rating at the moment. Whatever man say about Gyökeres, and I know he weren't the best yesterday, he's been doing his thing since the turn of the year. Eze has also found his feet, and he's 16, so I don't want to do all of that. But being honest, Max Dowman, the rest, you're either been injured and you're in and out, not had the consistency, we're frustrated with your stagnation, your form's just on the floor. So for me, the Premier League is more on Mikel Arteta to get this job done. And the Champions League is more on the players because I do think you're at that point in the season now where you just need some individual brilliance and some moments and things of that ilk. So, yeah, man, at the end of the day, there are things we're negative about, innit? We, like I said, from the league phase up until now, hasn't really been, the performance, how we're playing, haven't been happy. Reality is, you're in the semi-finals, you're top of the Premier League. What do you want to do about that? Slap yourselves for the things you need to improve on, back up your ideas, get that siege mentality, go up the gears. Sunday, you make yourself a hero. We booed you on Saturday last week. Everyone will love you on Sunday. Too close now for this to happen. You've got yourself to this. It's like being in a race. You're right at the finish line after preparing well, starting well, running technique's great. You're now, like, you can see the finish line and you're about to get glory and get the gold medal and become an Olympic champion. Now's not the time to slow down. So, yeah, it's time to hit back and shut out the outside noise. You can't shout out the outside noise. These players see it. They're on social media. Their friends are on social media. Even if you've got a mobile phone, there's always some sort of soundbite. But the one thing I won't ever have on Mikel Arteta and these players, I don't think you take too much stock beyond being a human being in the outside noise, because a vast majority of you were here. Remember when we got battered against Brentford and all that, and there was big inquests. You lot didn't listen then, so don't listen now. If you really love your teammates and your manager, if you really love the players, everyone will do this thing. It's as simple as that. Because I need to believe. Sporting, step in the right direction. Sunday, it's not just good enough to start. I need the performance to make me see with my eyes what I think, that you man want this. I know you lot want this. I've never questioned their hunger, their commitment, their desire. It's more how we've gone about it. Keyword, how we've gone about it. So, yeah, man. In conclusion, smash the like button before we get into your comments, people. Back-to-back semi-finals, a tie against Atletico Madrid, which we should be a bit more excited and gassed about, and we're still top. But reality is, we're looking around at the Champions League. We're looking internally. We're seeing what City are doing with the Premier League and all the things we've done. The devil's in the details, innit? Because if I'm completely honest, from a place of love, we've never been on the right side of the fine margins when it comes to it. In the semi-finals, you've got PSG, Bayern Munich, you've got Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, and it's a bit weird, you know. You got one of every country in it. Like you got the best team, arguably in well, it's not even arguably the best team in France at the moment, PSG, best team in Germany, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, sole representatives of the La Liga people, them, and you've got us, which I don't necessarily subscribe to it, but we are top of the league in it, so. I can't call it between PSG and Bayern who wins this, if I'm honest with you. It's a toss of a coin. You should probably want to see both of them in the final if Arsenal weren't there. But them two, whoever wins that tie wins the Champions League, in my opinion. I do think you can beat Atletico Madrid. I do think you've got a good chance against them because you've shown me. But when the pressure's on, it's just about getting the job done. I more have faith in Atletico than us, but go and prove me wrong. You'll have two great opportunities. You're in a great position. You know, I don't want to be that guy because I do think it's a bit of a lazy kind of view. But for your, and I'm talking only about the players, without context, in August, or I don't know, when you went out to when you know messed up against Aston Villa or any sort of hiccup we've had, if I offered you lot on the 16th of April, you'll be in another semi-finals and you'll still be top of the league, you would have bit your arm off for it. When something falls in your lap, do the job, man. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. And yeah, we're still top of the table. So there's no complaints from me, but we need to buck up our ideas immediately. Tyrone, appreciate you. I wouldn't say I would take a draw at Manchester City. I don't think we've ever played for a draw. I do think because of how we play, it leads fans to have them lazy views. I need to win. If you can't win, don't lose. There is more of an onus on City to win. Obviously, I disagree and agree with that. I agree because City are like, it's polar opposites right now. Man City fans are hella positive about everything at their football club. We're not necessarily that, but we're in the driving seat. A draw probably suits Arsenal more on the analytical front than it does with City. Obviously, if you go and win, then I think there's even, then mathematically I could dispel it, but I do think there's too much margin for error. So on paper, I'd take a point, but we ain't won at the Etihad in forever. We've been poor in the last few games. I need a performance, and crucially, I need the 3 points. Boys and Mikel Arteta, you got two choices for me. Stink out the place, walk out with a point or 3, or show me some real fight and invention and all of those kind of things. Because even if it's how you do it. I could still be nervous, question mark the manager, question mark the players, yeah. But in an alternative universe, if you done what you needed to do in sport, and so let's just focus on the domestics. If you lost the League Cup final, if you lost against Southampton, if you lost against Bournemouth, and if you lose against City, but I'm seeing man stand up to be counted. It just weren't our day. They were I could just simply say they were better than us. There's something to go back to the analytical front. If I saw that wounded animal, because now it's time to stand up to be counted. You're being backed into a wall. Are you going to curl into a ball? You're going to fight back. So that is where I'm at with it. So yeah, with a fan point of view, I need to see a passionate performance, committed performance, and even if I'm really being harsh, like I'm not talking about starting the game well. You need to start the game well. The moments in that game against City, you need to suffer, and Raya has to pull out saves and all of these things. Do that. Any setbacks, respond. If you start well, which I think has been an issue even in the League Cup final, even Man United at the Emirates, we'll start games well. We'll have a lot of possession. There'll be invention and intention. And then it's like we're playing up here, and then suddenly we're like, oh, well, you know what? It's all right now. This is what I want to see. I didn't want to say it, but he might be Gareth Southgate. But people can laugh at Gareth Southgate. In my 30 years, 31 better yet, he's had England playing the best. Big up DG. Declan looked dead tired at full time. Hope it's not another injury. I hope it's not as well. And I have to big up Declan Rice because at the end of the day, he weren't scheduled to play yesterday. But to a degree, there's certain things at our football club. Unfortunately, you cannot stand in the rain and complain you're wet. And it's predictable. Zubamendi, obviously the players have to hold themselves accountable, but Zubamendi losing form and looking leggy at periods this season. Rice the same. Why? Because we don't try anything different in midfield. Now, of course, Marino's had injuries, whether I think that's the option in midfield or not. Kai, whether I think, boy, the only thing I would say, Kai in the 10 is a lot better than Kai in the 8, innit? These are probably options that would have been drawn. Miles Lewis-Skelly's an option. Obviously, we've not seen that. Norgard, we've not seen that. For whatever reason, maybe It's tactics. Maybe it's not the right time, but that's the only thing we're betting on. It's kind of predictable. And we need to get back to basics. We're a good defensive side. I've said this from August. We're a good defensive side. We need to get back to being a great defensive side because some of the goals we've conceded have been poor. The Arsenal side, the first half of the season, you don't concede what you did against Southampton. You don't concede the second goal against City. Man are not following runners. Even against Bournemouth, the 2 against Bournemouth, all goals you can see could be poor, but man are not following runners. Man are not dropping. There's several sequences of play. I don't know if that's nerves, if that's fatigue, if that's complacency, if we've hit a blip. Get back to those standards defensively. Midfield needs to up it, but also Arteta, I think that's the area I'm looking at some tactics. Final third, I need some individual brilliance because I know the scintillating football we think we'll see, it's not going to happen, is it really? So, yeah, man. Nelly, Eze, Max, Havertz up top. We definitely get a result, DG. I am at the point, yeah, to a degree, Arteta might have to go against logic, like even my own logic. Max Dowman's become crossing over that. Yeah, he's young. We got to look after him physically, all that kind of jazz, yeah. But he's coming to the point where your age is relevant, but it's irrelevant. You're one of the best tools in the toolbox. You heard me say it in passing comment just now. Like, if there's three attackers I believe in at the moment, Max Dowman, 17. When I've seen you, you've been doing your thing. You're a bit fearless as well. That can help you in moments like this, where psychological factors, crunch time, and all of those crazy Premier League kind of things we see are as important as tactics. You could be utilized. Gyökeres is definitely not pretty. You're putting the ball in the back of the net. You got 18 Premier League goals. You're doing what needs to be done. Eze's at home now. You know, the best thing I could say about Eze is obviously he's won another Player of the Month. You got injured, and it did scare me when you got injured, beyond the obvious, because I think that happened with Gyökeres first half of the season. When they're starting to get some confidence and put some form together, bang, injury, and it feels like it's starting from zero. There's no positives from the Bournemouth game. But I did like what I saw in what he could control from Eze, and I did like it yesterday. So they're the ones, really and truly, man. So I do think, do you need to try something? Does Arteta need to go against his logic? Logic might be telling you, Kai, up front, not to play Dowman, move one of the more experienced players to the right. And these, you could do the opposite and it doesn't work, and you could do these things and it does work. But I am kind of thinking that it does feel that way in the season. And also from a coaching point of view, Mikel Arteta, I'll be real. There's a lot for the players in terms of managing the game and all that kind of jazz. All they need to do is look at the last few games, and with what you got on Sunday, obviously Manchester City, from a tactical point, the press. I need to see a bit of a spanner in the works. I don't know if you're going to change your formation. I don't know if you're going to change the roles of certain individuals. I don't know if on paper everything looks the same, but there's different demands, because we've got it all to do. Licking our wounds, not been the nice period for Arsenal. Man are injured. People are losing form. Media's onto us. Mikel, I know what you're doing. You're doing the siege mentality, talking about fire and whatnot. Got it all to do. It's not pretty, but this is how men become legends. It's easy to stand up when everything's great. When everything looks... Because really and truly, it's a weird one, because 2 semi-finals, obviously we're top. Obviously, we've spoken about the things we can improve, but relating it to the weather, it's like, this season, it's been sunny, but it's got cloudy and there's rain to come. And when it's rained, it's been mad. And then it's one where it's sunny but raining and we're still outside. Now it kind of feels like, I don't know, man. It feels cloudy, bro. Like, I don't know. British team, British weather, we're on brand, didn't it, really? Big up DG. We need to put in a performance, but we cannot lose on Sunday. A loss will be the final nail in the coffin. That'll be real, Arteta. As much as I'm criticizing attack, stinkiest low block at times in that game, because you're going to have to suffer. And even for my boys, you lot haven't looked as compact, as solid defensively as you have been. Mikel Arteta, you saw the press. They all changed it, but the way that there's certain things you could see in that Southampton game, in that Bournemouth game, and that City game, where obviously, not to glaze Pep, but Southampton, Pep tried something new, got a new result. Southampton gaffer, which obviously we played them at the wrong time, arguably, because they're a different team in the second half of the year than they're on the first. He thought, you know what, I'm not going to do it exactly like City. I can't, but there's little tweaks we can do and whatnot. All right, boom, let's do that. Areola was at the game. Areola said, oh, right, I've seen certain things with Arsenal this season when we've played them in general, chinks in their armor. Right, Pep done this. Let me take a little bit from that. Right, the Southampton guy in the FA Cup, let me do that. I do think it starts in the press. Football's a simple game. You need to go from David Raya up the other end of the field, innit? And I think whether they sit off in a 4 and let our centre halves have the ball, they stand on our midfield, there's certain things that need to change. And if it's not, just make sure you win me the Premier League. I feel like we're going to get smacked, but I'm hoping we can find some legs and grit for Sunday. We look tired. I'll be real. As much as I think we've spoken about these things too much and done all of that, I think it comes down to pride. I think it comes down to pride. Obviously, with the external factors and all of the waffling and all of those things that have been going on. But I think it comes down to personal pride. How much times have you lot fallen short? How much times have you lot become, fair enough, we ain't done it too many times, but statistics, more points than the Invincibles, back-to-back semi-finals, clean sheets. Even me, I'm saying we've dropped off a cliff, in my opinion, comparing us this season to last season defensively. We're up there for clean sheets. You've got all of these rhetorics which show you're a good side. But we know you lot weren't talking about that at the start of the season. It's, can we win a Prem? Can we win a League Cup? Can we win an FA Cup? Can we win a Champions League? Can we win one of the four? Can we compete in all four as much as possible? It comes down to pride. If you lot were meant to be a family, that physio, I can't tell you his name, but the physio, you lot see him day in, day out. He's given a poor kid who is, his dad has said he's thirsty and whatnot, a bottle. That bottle's being used as ammunition. Arsenal bottles. These things can't hurt you anymore, realistically. They're not, if the season goes how the pagans want it to go, there's nothing, they're gonna revel in it, but there's nothing they can say this year that they didn't say last year. Bottlers can't get over the line, X amount of money spent. We all know the buzzwords that gets the engagement and things. And I'm not even saying that. That's external. Internally, you lot and the coaching staff ride the highs and the lows and set goals and whatnot. Everything has been geared to this club towards winning and being competitive. We are a competitive team again. So thank you to the players and the gaffer for that. Now it's about winning for yourselves. Winning's not everything, but we ain't done that. So yeah, regardless of injuries, tiredness, fatigue, tactics, all of these things are relevant and prevalent and things we've been speaking about this season and see at least 1 year to 2 years prior. Comes down to pride, bro. They bleed just like you. From a logical point of view, even the most diehard of Arsenal fan like we all are now, there's no logical evidence to suggest we're going to turn up on Sunday. Stranger things have happened. They bleed just like you. They're human just like you. You got to go from one end to the other. If everybody individually does their job, you have half a chance. Because I've criticized us not following runners a lot of times in this video and in general. You think you can not follow runners against City and expect to win? You think you can not be solid defensively? I need courage. And from my attacking players, apart from, well, included, but let's exclude for a sec, Dalman, Eze, Gyökeres, stand up. Stand up. 876, my guy. Big up DG. Good result last night to go through, but I feel we'll still fall short this season. That's the problem. Some players are saving themselves from the World Cup. I disagree. Obviously, you got a World Cup in mind, yeah, but you can't afford to do that. Like, you can't afford to do that. And I'm sorry, if you're Arsenal, if you're City, if you're this team, there might even be teams in next countries fighting for domestic cups. If you're one of these players that has a chance to go play for England, Spain, France, whatever, you can't save yourself. How can you save yourself? You can only deal with what's in front of you. That is the same kind of rhetoric I see when they try to, and I hope some Arsenal fans can see how naive they've been. Yeah. One thing that's always annoyed me. Sorry, let me open my window. One thing that's always annoyed me is first half of the season, past the 10-game mark, people start saying, we're saving ourselves for the second half of the season. You really think you've got a game on September the 13th, whatever game it is, people are sitting there saying, no, man, you know what? Let me not run as much as I can. Let me conserve because next year, X, Y, Z. It don't work like that. Of course, when the fixture list is compact and condensed, there's an element of can we do the job, not do too much, just manage the game, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, stand up to be counted. Because no matter what they say, anti-football Arsenal, boring Arsenal, bottler manager, comeboy manager, this player shit, that player shit, these lot are not good. You can choose to believe that or not believe that. But my point of saying that is to say this: you man are still top of the Premier League. You man are into the semi-finals. You look like you've just gate crashed the party. So you can't be that bad. You can't be nearly as bad as half the fans that don't support Arsenal that like to give you shit. And a lot of it is, I don't agree with a lot of external factors, but naturally, there is some elements of, I don't like the messenger, but the message isn't wrong. I agree with that. Let's just care about ourselves. Do you love your teammates as much as you claim you do, the coaching staff and the fans that follow you all around the world? Because you do get them immediate Arsenal fans, we shouldn't boo, we just support, man. Where has support ever gone? Booing actually is support, you know. And even if you were to say that was wrong from the fans that go to games, how many times have you lot lost, played poorly and whatever, and they've cheered you on? They've cheered you on 100 times, they've booed you once. It's a family. If your family know that you're doing wrong, why are they going to praise you? And I'm sorry, anyone that can't take the good and the bad with this football club, this ain't the club for you. It's one of the biggest clubs in the land and in the world. And that goes for all the traditional top 4, top 5, and Spurs. Not even Spurs, but you get the point in it. You have to stand up. And I know you lot know this. Because you know we've not won a Premier League for 20 odd years. You know that if you're joining us last summer or in the last few years under Mikel Arteta, you've fallen short. You know what time it is. You know how big the shirt is. Relish it. Because these are first world problems as much as it's the end of the world. This is a lot better than fighting for 4th, 8th. This player needs to go. That player needs to go. Emirates is a there's even first world problems at the Emirates now. Like that used to be toxic. So relish it. You lot have done so well. And you have to know what time it is because half of you sign new deals. Boy, City won their last 3 games 11-0. It's dark on Sunday. Boy, it's dark. They're filled with confidence. Like I said, if I'm using pure logic, which sometimes, a lot of the time football is about probabilities and logic. A lot of the time it's illogical. Momentum is with them. The City looked devoid of ideas and passion and leaders and all of that in the first half of the season. They flipped it and it's all positive now. So you've got momentum, you've got togetherness, you've got Pep's found the little tweaks, you've got collective individuals and the collective and the individuals, apologies, standing up to be counted. Subs are making a difference. They're purring. Us, what are you made of? What are you made of? And you also need to, as much as this is going to sound fucked, yeah, and some of you will understand it, some of you won't. And clearly you can see where my head is at. It's just a game of football, boys. You win, so what? You lose, so what? You're not a single mother trying to, put food on the table. You're not a father that's been working for 20, 30 odd years, paying off mortgages. He's lost his job, kids in uni. You're not a doctor. His hand moves, somebody dead. It's football. You lose a game of football, so what? So free your mind. Psychological factors, momentum, or belief. As cringy as it is, this is the part of the season where that means stuff. Why do you think at the tail end of the season, for a variety of reasons, you start to see shock results, you start to see positive and negative momentum? Now, by God's grace, Spurs do not beat Brighton, but negatively, they can't stop losing. City cannot stop winning. You can say what you want about Arsenal, you can say what you want about Chelsea or Liverpool. They dealt with that. On paper, going into that and the Real Madrid game, so just before they obviously went out the champs and whatnot, their fans might have been thinking the worst. Notice how fans have been calling us bottlers all the time, but fans weren't chanting what's going on with Arsenal. Bottles are going out and Sky Sports interviewing City fans and whatnot. They weren't saying that at the start of the season. Now they are. Why? Because the players on the pitch and the manager have found something for the people to get behind. So you'll have I can't speak for every Arsenal fan, yeah. You have our support. Belief needs to be transmitted from you lot. And even you, Gaffer, you do a lot of talking about generating atmosphere and you've done nice little touches around the Emirates. It has been good. We know the away fans supporting you, but everything's geared towards generating the atmosphere. But the one thing that will generate the atmosphere on the pitch, first 50-50, you flying, man, are going to get behind that. Solid defensively, people get behind that. This is what fans, including myself, want to see. So, yeah, man. Arteta selling dreams. It is an achievement, but it don't mean nothing. And what I mean by that is it hasn't been done before, but we're competitive again. Like, it don't mean nothing. Unless you're doing this, it don't mean nothing. Because nobody's going to talk 10 years from now. Remember when we got back-to-back semi-finals? Remember more points than the Invincibles? Because even me, there was a year, either this year, last year, whatever, they got more points than the Invincibles. No one can pinpoint that. That's not real legacy. All of these things show we're on a good trajectory and we're moving in the right direction and we're competitive. It's now about winning. Mate, we're cooked. We look knackered. I can't see us winning anything. I hope I'm wrong. City have given their players 2 days off as well. So that's another factor of them. But I'm not being funny. City at times, and I know it's different, they've had to go through and navigate periods like this where teams have had days off and all of those. This is where we want it to be. Anyone that's watched football, a lot of the talking points we're talking about with Arsenal, a lot of teams at the tail end and fighting for many a competition and legs and injuries. This is what comes with it. We knew this was going to be a thing. So, yeah, facts. Sad that Max is the best player. Wonder where he would have been if Mikel played him from the start of the season. I don't think he would have got injured. To be fair, his injury's got nothing to do with Mikel, and he did bring him on against Liverpool at Anfield. I do wish we kept Ethan, man. Despite all the gas, let's not pretend Max can do 90 minutes. Not expecting him to do 90 minutes. This is where we have to box cleverly. He's a growing lad. But if the physio, for example, just says there's 5 games, like the next 5 games, on average, Max Dowman can get 30 to 60 minutes. I don't know. Pick wisely. Is that starting against City? Is that, I don't know, playing in the semi-final? Just waffling and saying random things. Got to use them. There's very few players that probably have 90 minutes in them at Arsenal Football Club. But I will say this. Fatigue don't matter when you're winning at this point of the season. I'll be so real with you. Like, if we beat Leeds, won the League Cup final against City to now, of course, we'll be talking about fatigue in that. But the players wouldn't look leggy. When you're struggling mentally, everything physically and that you have to do in real life becomes 10 times harder. I think Max can 16. I was full of energy. Them days could easily play 90 minutes. Rooney was doing it, so why can't Max? We have to be a bit cute and clever, man. And I don't know, Georgia, I don't know for saying PSG don't move you. The only thing that can justify this playing style is trophies. Get it done, I'll take the champs, or even Prem if we win every game 1-0 from a set piece. But it is what it is, man. We're getting smoked versus City. If we get smoked, we get smoked. But let's say that, man. Fuck the pussy old thing. Fuck the pussy old thing, man. Like, there's every reason to... Well, you lot can see in it. I can't find any logic. What's going on here? I can't... Let me put the charger in, people. I can't find any logic. There's no logical reason for me in my mind to believe we can beat City, innit? But despite that, go out and have a go. Fuck all of this. Oh, if we get smoked, we get smoked. Fuck all of this. Oh... Because the way you lot are moving, whether that happens, you man are the type to, I'm going to pull out of a 50-50. The guy is bigger than me. I'm going to get hurt. That guy wants to fight me. I don't want to throw a punch, even though he's trying to get off my, trying to knock off my block. What's going on? The person in times of conflict, the person that wants peace gets burned first. So if we're going out like this, if you got a gun to our heads, fucking shoot. Live on, bro. You lot can live on your knees. My boys and what I'm on, I want to die on my feet if that's it. Gladiator settings. And despite all of the things we've been talking about, anytime we've dropped points, I have always felt, and I still feel this, especially, you can go in several points earlier in the season. Definitely the League Cup final. I look at the other teams, I praise them, I give them all their things, but I look at you boys and say, you haven't left it all out there. Gaffer included, tactically, mentally, everything, defensively, all the illies and gillies, you haven't left it all out there. It's always felt like there's more to give. I felt that against Bayern. I felt that against PSG. If you don't want to be winners, you got to do this thing when it matters, bro. You got to do this thing when it matters. Obviously, every game matters, but league phase of the Champions League versus the semi-finals, what happened? That's why I'm not taking too much stock in Atletico at this moment. You've shown you can beat them. There's confidence. Don't matter what you've done in the league phase. You know what you need to do. So, yeah, man. From what I saw yesterday, it looked like Rice was in a 6 with Zubi as an 8. It looked like they got back to what they looked like in the first half of the season. You want to go forward, you go forward. Rice will govern. DG Ronaldinho has a dookie coming out today. Every foot. Docky. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to watch that. It's on Netflix, innit? King, appreciate you. Where you been, man? Of course, already. Trust me when I say this. I know someone at the club. His dad is a millionaire. He was, yeah. That you're talking about, Max Dowman. Papered off, man. Can we stop pretending like things might change? It's over, guys. The quicker everyone accepts what's happening, the better. Prepare for the worst. Listen, if we lose, I'm going to be upset, but I can't say I didn't see it coming. But despite that, I'm not on the doom and gloom thing for no reason. Like, you've got a chance. As slim as it is, there is a chance. Because then, all of you lot saying that, despite the many criticisms I've got for the players and Mikel Arteta, you lot might as well fuck off then. Honest to God, you might as well fuck off. You might as well not watch it. If you damn well watch City, I don't want to hear any complaints. You might just want to give up anyways. If we know it's gone, regardless, the season still has to play out in a sense that we need to fulfill the fixtures. We got 2 minimum in the Champions League. We got, 6, 7, forgive me for my maths, in the Premier League. Whether you're still hopeful and you're thinking whatever, or it's a Mighty Ducks thing, the game is still there. So what are we going to do? And the world can think it's over. I can think it's over. You can think it's over. Whether it's over or not, these players can't. And if any of them do, in the most respectful way, no dramas, Stay at home. Don't get on that team, coach. Whoever's not on it, just let the guy know there's no swearing, there's no drama. Just, you're not built for this thing. Some of the attacking players, yes, I can cut your sympathies, injuries, and some exclusives and whatnot. Eyes and off. Some of you have been here for years. Some of you are on hella paper. At 16-year-old, can't buy a Magnum. I've got more faith in him. Gyökeres, horrible first touch. I've got more faith in him. Big him up. Eze, shadow of his former self in the first half of the season. I've got more faith in him. Some of you have done the business for years. Get back to it. Because at several points this season, more positively and last, I've seen us play poor. I've seen us make mistakes. I've seen teammates make mistakes. And I've seen people say, don't watch that. We're going to make it happen. Now's not the time for none of that. We can definitely see the clouds in the distance. We just aren't sure whether they'll blow by us or soak us. Exactly. Exactly, man. If any player puts in a no heart performance on Sunday, I'd sell them if I was in charge. Hmm. This is the bit where Arteta needs to earn his cash. He needs to go to City with a plan, a good plan. And that's the thing. Arteta, I know you're gonna go there with a good plan. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'll like it. It'll be enjoyable. I've said this before. Arteta, we've got them man on Sunday. The last 10 days, I know you and your boys, you've watched several bits and pieces of City. You've watched the 2 games we've played against them. You're setting up how to do this thing. My thing with Arteta is when there's a spanner in the works, when the game state and the dynamics change, just like in that second half, arguably against Man United and definitely against Man City, this is where I'm looking at you because you don't change quick enough. So yeah, man, bro, how many tabs do you have open? About 100. Need more, mate. Need more. For the first time in history, Arsenal have qualified for the semi-finals of the Champions League in 2 consecutive seasons. We're topped by 6 points. Second consecutive semi-final. We're still unbeaten in the Champions. Imagine we win it, and imagine we win it without losing their game. No one can chat to us. But listen, I don't believe we're winning the Champions. But you're in it, try a thing in it. It's crazy to think this Mikel Arteta team was booed off by their own fans. Now, clearly, this Don is doing engagement hype. There was a reason. Fans were not booing the players, they're booing the performance. In the same way, nobody would tell fans, had you have done very well in this recent run of games or done well against Bournemouth, no one would tell you stop cheering. No one would tell you to stop cheering. And sometimes you need to hear that. You need to, because I do think there's an element at Arsenal in a bubble. I do think there's different sections of fans. There's some fans that can't be praised. They're just, the bare negative, the toxic positive. Those that say just shut up and support the boys and whatever. It's not that you probably agree with a lot of the negatives and general discussions and adult conversations you've had. You just don't want to say it out loud because you're shook. And I'm not on just saying believe in the boys. For the boys, have some belief. You need to go and see it. It's the reality of it now. It's the reality of it. Arteta, I hope we're on fire come Sunday, man. I hope the attack is. Arteta this week is the biggest opportunity of 6.5 years. Yes. So, you know what time it is then, innit? As we're going to circle back on Thierry Henry's comments here, but go and win at Man City. I want to see that fire there. Trust me. Now or never. Big up Declan Rice as well. And it was interesting the boys selected him to be captain. So while I haven't been happy, collectively, you're standing up to be counted. With the ball, there are moments at the moment that we have to improve a lot to have more control and dominate and finish much more actions. When you talk about the behavior, attitude, habits, the team was outstanding on that. That's what takes you through. That is what the gaffer has said, people. Before the game, he said, no fear, pure fire. I hope so, man. No fear, pure fire. That's what I want to see from the players, the people, myself. The opportunity is unbelievable. In isolation, I can't say I disagree with that. Let's confront it, go for it, and put everything into it. I do think collectively you lot have confronted it. I don't think you've hidden in the game. And I think you lot have understood several times the magnitude. Let's go for it. The managers and the players. Arteta, I haven't felt you've gone for it. Players, I feel you've gone for it for about 45 minutes, half an hour in a couple first halves. Definitely against City. The rest I can't be said. Put everything into it. I don't think the players or Arteta could say that. Because whenever we drop points or lost a game, I've never felt we've left it all out there. Fire. I'm on fire. That's it. Nothing else. I'm driven so much. I've done so much to be in this position. I know how this club was. This is beauty. I see beauty and opportunity. I want to get it done for all the people on the journey with us. That's what's driven me every day. Zero fear. So let's get things done. And before the game, I did like Eze's comments as well, people, about like when we win, and just it's nice to just hear someone just speak calm in it, if I'm honest with you. The boss speaks well. He's passionate. You can see the fire he has in his eyes and mind. That's been pushed throughout the whole club. Regardless of what people are saying outside, it's about us, what we do, and that's all that matters. Fair play. And obviously, Rice was there. There is a reason why we are the only English team in this competition. And we dropped an extra place, apologies, for the Premier League sides for next year. Boring old Arsenal, anti-football Arsenal, and, whatever. This schedule takes a hell out of you. We are not perfect. We need to improve things, that's for sure. But let's value what these players have done. We defo value what these players have done. It's all about what they've not done, because you lot have we've done it before, innit? There's a degree of expectation at this football club. There's a 22-year drought. We've not done the Premier League, Champions League. 2, you lot have made this feasible, because nobody in their heart of hearts is going to say, well, why can't you get over the line? You've shown us evidence. You don't get embarrassed anymore. You get to knockout stages. You get into the knockout stages of competitions. You're sniffing around it. So it's fair to ask. We'll give you credit for what you're done / doing, but we know the job. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. You think Saliba and these men are happy, and you as well, Gaffer, because you have all spoke about silverware is required now. 22 years of not winning the league is big pressure, but the club, Arteta, and the players knew that from the start of the season. Players should take accountability for the years they've been with us, 1 out of 2. Focus on what you can achieve. Stop thinking about narratives. Gives you all. As supporters, we can only hope they pull it off. There you have it. When people show you who they are, believe them. Sport is the only thing people don't apply logic to. This is the... Oh, sorry, seen that already. Appreciate you, lot. It was only a few weeks ago, Man City drew at home to Forest. In the EFL Cup final, the game was a stalemate until Kepa's error. We are not playing Van Basten's AC Milan. We can do it. But will they do it? In the world, indeed, all the way from South Africa. Big up the Gooners around the world and shout out South Africa, man. Yes, DG. Big up yourself. You want me to have a word with my mate G, never about a takeover, let me know. You're going mad. Big, you know what? You have to shout out my Robles. The guy's caking already. Sold your platform. If I'm him, I'm going to open up a new YouTube channel anyways. Because of who you are, the fans then will be back there. You know, Gary Neville, you used to slag off YouTube and whatnot. But what Gary Neville is doing in terms of purchasing that is the exact same thing. Half of these media platforms, they shut up. You know, let's be honest. Journalism is here. YouTube, podcasts, us normal people were here. They shat on it. They distanced it and whatnot. It's too big to ignore. Now you're in this little interlink stage. And they can have their opinion. These people, they see money in it. Man, are businessmen. So, yeah, we're better than all these teams, but the shackles got tighter as the season went on. But I think the only team I rate us above in the champs at this moment is Atletico, and they're United. So go and show me stuff. But yeah, going back to what Gent next door said, exactly. Momentum narratives are very big things, because just the other day, City were feeling sorry for themselves. Now, look, I wouldn't say we were gassed. We was gassed with the platform. We're definitely on this channel. We was having a lot of conversation about certain things that have now become the forefront of the conversations. But it's down to these lot. L, big up yourself, man. We need Sunday called off. Dead. Rush us. It's like City have us. They're recording us. Rush us. Beat us up. We need to send City some dodgy food. West Ham Spurs vibes 2006. I hope for a miracle, but that's all I've got. Hope. Logic don't dictate us. Logically, I don't think we have a snowball's chance of getting the result we want on Sunday, but go and prove me wrong. Because that's what I need. There's times throughout the season the players might not have believed they could get it done, and the fans have lifted them up. I don't believe. But you're still top. So, yeah, man. There was nothing between the two sides a few weeks back, and we didn't have a number 10, which gave them the tactical, I think you mean gave them the tactical edge. We're live dogs on Sunday, believe you guys. They're going to have to show me, bro. They're going to have to show me. You're going to have to show me in the second half. So, yeah, man. It is what it is. Saka defo got injured again. He's been missing. Says, at the end of the day, we've got what we've got. We don't have what we don't have, man. Like, it's not that these things are like, end of the day, we got what we got. Who's fit? Who's half fit? Who's injured? Who's good? Whose form's good? Who's bad? What's our position? Just have to look at reality and everything. You've got a chance. You're going through hellfire at this moment in time. Make sure you come out. You come out with a couple burns and you live. Don't stay in that fire. Don't take for granted what we've done. Now, Arteta, I do think a lot of this is mind games for your players and the message you're giving out with the fire and don't forget what we've done. I think the language has been, while I'm not happy and I've probably shouted at you, don't forget what you've been doing, the consistencies and the positives, but also the opportunity you have. Don't let it slip through your hands. And we've got to do better for everybody. Anyways, people, I know we don't want to hear that. Obviously, immediately when you've got your Arsenal fan cap on and I'm not analysing things, don't take for granted what we've done. My first thing is, what have we done? We've been competitive. And it's weird because you never know what twists and turns, but despite the fact that we're first and you're in the champs and obviously you've gone out the domestics, this is probably the least hopeful isn't the right word because we are hopeful, but least confident, I guess I should be looking at of us having a parade in May, innit, really? Don't fuck up at the end, man. What's the gaffer said? It's a great night. I'm so proud of everyone at the club. Thank you to our supporters for the manner in which they follow the team. It's the first time we've reached the semi-finals consecutively in 140 years, which, again, I want us to get the Prem, but this is what I always say. We've got a lot of catching up to do in Europe, man. So that tells you the difficulty and magnitude of what we've done. I think we don't realize it now, but we'll realize it in a few years. Trophies, man. So don't take for granted what we've done. It's extremely difficult to achieve, which is true, but good teams, great teams, they do what's difficult. It's never been achieved by ourselves. So big gratitude to our players and everyone who's contributed to achieving that. We're not perfect. We want to improve in every area, but we have 2 magical nights to play against Atletico, and we're certainly going to prepare well for that. Meaning, Capia, you played against them. Was it last season or the year before for Leverkusen? And he loves the antics. I know you're going to be up for it. I don't know why I mentioned him, but yeah, we'll take things from October's meeting and the games they've played recently, but we're going to have to go to Madrid, be ourselves, compete in the manner we have, and we'll have the chance to win it. Well, as he said, it's the Champions League. The margins are very small, and when we've had the dominance and situations to kill the tie, we didn't. It was always going to be open, but it was very controlled, especially in the second half. We didn't allow any shots for the opposition apart from the last long throw, so it was very solid. We need to improve in certain areas, that's for sure, but we need some players back in order to do that as well. But overall, it was good. So that tells you I'm missing a lot of people. I need Timber. Big up Mascara for his right back shift and also shouting Capia as well. Martinelli keen to use semi-final lessons. What does that mean, lad? And don't forget 4:30, unless she flops, we're going to have Jessica Black. She knows Arsenal. I don't think she wants to go by She Knows Arsenal anymore. So we'll just call her Jess. It's a chance for me to shut up and, entertain you guys, hear her thoughts. She'll be the star. And you lots. We're really happy with this achievement. Everyone is buzzing in the dressing room, and we're really happy. We did well in the first leg of the quarterfinals today, and I think we did quite well. Of course, we could have done better, but that's football. Sporting is a really good side as well, so they did well. We managed to not concede. We're through, so we're really happy, and we can't wait to play against Atletico. I can't wait to get to the game. It's going to be another big one. Of course, we played them this season, early in the season. Obviously, it's going to be a different game. We're looking forward to playing this game. It's going to be another battle. We're going to try to take what we did wrong last season to do the right this season. We'll go for it. We can't wait to play them. I've been working hard for those moments. This is my club. It's my family. Martinelli, you see why I got time for you. It's a bench thing, but you're my guy. It's my family. I really feel good here. It means a lot to me. We want to win titles. I'm really happy with the way we've been doing things. The Champions League is really nice. The game is really open. You have spaces to run into. We know Martinelli because yesterday it weren't that, but we see you in the Champs versus in the Prem. And we manage the ball well. We find spaces really well. I've been enjoying playing in this competition. And you know what? Isolated to your minutes, Gabriel Jesus yesterday, because I have to be fair. I always try and be fair. I've slagged you off all season. In that 10 minutes you played yesterday, well in. So yeah, man. The same man saying we're getting smoked are the same ones moving mad when we win. If we get smoked, he's got to go. The league is over. Arteta, there's no saving you. But I mean, talking about man getting a new deal. So some of the conversations, you're not gonna have to forgive me for feeling like it's a bit redundant, man. Versus City, play Rice 6, MLS 8, Eze 10, MLS can move. I'm not saying it's wrong. You're not gonna see that, bro. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that. You're not. Why would he change his, especially where there's injuries and all that? He's not changing that midfield. You're seeing Zubi, you're seeing Rice. You might see an Eze left wing or something to accommodate Odegaard. I don't even think you see that. And even that, I think you have to keep Eze in the centre, especially when you're looking for positives. He's in a good moment. He's found his feet. He's purring. A part of me actually wants to go Rice and Odegaard, put Odegaard deeper. Then you have to drop out Zubi. If I know you lot are not necessarily happy with Zubi, who did better yesterday. I don't think you can play City without Zubi. I don't think you're going to have Rice as the 6. That is going to affect your build-up play. And if you are going to have Rice as a 6, people don't want to hear it. I think we'd have to be a lot more direct, and you'd have to play Kai Havertz, because I can't. Declan Rice is not going to, if they let's just say 10 minutes, 10 times he's played that ball on the half turn. Everyone who knows football, you're a centre mid, right? You've got to be on the half turn, play it forward. That is not Rice's consistent game. That is why Zubi plays there. That is why, on top of Rice being a quality player and being able to do that at times, we use his strengths in the final third. It's only the English mentality and the English managers that will have. I even think there's not really them in the game anymore. The 6 position, protect the defense, muck in. Rodri does do that. Zubi does do that, but it's different for them kind of Spanish man, which Arteta is. If we can, Raya's your first attacker. Raya is your first attacker. Why do we care about a goalkeeper being good with his feet? It opens up passing lanes. Your first creative midfielder is probably your 6. It's almost backwards thinking type of thing. We can win at City. I want us to go there fearless. If we must lose, let us lose fighting. That's my thing. Listen, I should get you to speak here because you'd have saved us about 50 minutes. Facts. That's what I'm on. 8761, love for becoming a member again. Zubi got a goal. He destroys our football king of the back pass instead. Zubimendi's been good this season. He is in a bit of a wobble. What I would say, you go and watch Zubimendi at Sociedad. You go and watch him at Spain. What do you see? Someone that's forever passing the ball forward. Someone that is very good in possession. Why? There's passing options. There's passing lanes. Because as much as there are things he could do better, why do you think you see Zubi dilly-dallying? Why do you think you see the centre halves dilly-dallying? Why do you think it goes back to Raya? Why do you think we've stopped going long? And when we do go long, we ain't got men around. Why do you think we're not as compact? Why do you think Arteta is not changing certain things in the final third? Everyone's got the answers. Why don't we try and ask ourselves better questions? Just a thought. Just a thought for life. So yeah. At least in the press conference, Arteta realized there are elements of our game that were off, but he says that all the time, even when we win 5-0, it's hard to gauge. I don't have criticism of players. Blaming players 6 years in is comical. Everyone in our squad is underutilized, underperforming. Stop blaming players. I'm under blaming everyone, man. By God's grace is a Christian concept. Georgia. Bet you're fun at parties, man. Why are you so serious all the damn time? Anyone notice it's the halftime tweaks versus Chelsea and Arsenal that Pep took it away from his ops? First half cagey, second half dominant. The game's almost identical tactically. Saka is a big miss. In current form, is he? With him on the pitch, we have more control, do we? We have a spearhead in our attack, do we? I can't believe some of our people were propping up Madueke to start over Saka. Trust me, bro. Give me whatever version of Saka if it's not Max Dowman over Noni. I like Noni. I can't get vexed at Noni, bro. You shouldn't be here, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, I do think people being a bit harsh saying he's faking injury and all of that. Like, bro, do you know how much it hurts to hurt your knee? Anyways, what has Arteta said post-match? We've gone over this commitment thing on the physical strain on our players. And to be fair, we know we're not City, but when City won the treble and all these things, what do you think happened with them? Anyways, when I see them tracking back when we lose the ball, the habits they have are just amazing. That's why I know what they are doing. These players, that is the reason why we're the only English team in the composition, because this league and this schedule takes a hell out of you. It's very difficult to do what we've done. We are not perfect. We need to improve things, that's for sure. We recognize that. But there are values in what these players have done because they deserve it. On Noni Madueke, hopefully we learn more tomorrow or Saturday ahead of Sunday, obviously. I don't know. It was something in his knee, so we had to take him off. I just don't know. On the energy the team gave, I saw it in moments of difficulty. When we give... And do you know what I will say this year? Yesterday, I was actually not happy to see us lose the ball, but a couple of moments. Raya Defo had a couple of blind passes that Sporting didn't exploit. Saliba had one. Because of everything we've spoken about, I've got more time for them mistakes because you're trying. I'd rather those mistakes than I don't know what to do. Left, right, forward, back. Someone's out of position. Someone makes a mistake. Bang. That is more because you're trying to... That's more of a... No one's making mistakes on purpose. I don't know how to explain it, but it's more of a mistake of intention. And yesterday, I was kind of cool with that. I don't mind that. And especially if you really want us to be an attacking side and gamble just generally, regardless of this season, you're going to have to get used to getting hit on the counter-attack and conceding on the counter-attack and players getting caught on the ball. Personally. How willing everybody is. Declan yesterday was shattered. He had no chance to play today. He wasn't feeling good at all. Today, he played 94 minutes at the moment, at the level that he's done, which is good for Rice. But then, obviously, you have to wonder about his physical condition. And I'd also say, for us Arsenal fans that generally give you your praise where you deserve it collectively and get onto you where you deserve it collectively, that doesn't move me. Because I've never questioned I can question mark you lot's ability, tactics, shit in the bed. I've never questioned marked your desire because it's not right. These boys want to win. So that doesn't really fill me with anything. There's bare man, not just at Arsenal, but in football in general at the moment, that are probably feeling a bit leggy. And this one's got a knock. He's really and truly only got 70 minutes in him. He's having to play 90. This is the part of the season. We've seen this many that we've not learned anything new. Unless football has changed or the dynamics around this football club has changed, owing to where the football is at this current day and age with the level of games and the amount of games, I ain't learned nothing there. Just wish we had another centre mid to maybe, before we get to this point, to be a bit cute and clever. I know we're not Manchester City, but you have to look at who you're competing with. More centre mids than we can count and people with the scope to play them. There's only two men that I genuinely count as able to play in the pivot at Arsenal because you're the only ones I see, Rice and Zubimendi. And then I know there's probably two more if it came to it, Havertz and Marino. The other options, they're redundant. It's not going to happen, bro. You've been putting the back three shouts out there. What are your thoughts on its effectiveness and as a tool in our box for the rest of the season, especially the injury situation? Admittedly, I wouldn't change formation, but you have to consider tweaking things to your existing formation or going free at the back. And sometimes free at the back does give more impetus to go forward. And really and truly, the only reason I'd go free at the back against City, and I think it has cons. Because I don't think you can get Odegaard in there. I think you need him. I don't really want to play with wide men, but I think you would need that. I think against City, you need width. But it's really born out of the League Cup final, the way they kind of pressed in that 4. Like they had the 4 and then the 1, and then like the way they were kind of just doing that, that made me think, all right, cool. Let's break us down. And then it's a compact game. We're not better than them at it, but we can match them at it. But then you're having to draw. If you do that, you probably have to make a decision. You can't cram. And I do think it's weird because you wish you could play 12, 13 players. I do think you need Zubi if you're going to do that. I do think you need Odegaard and players comfortable in the pocket. I do think you need Eze, but I also think you need wide men. And then who plays in the back three? If it was up to me, what? Saliba, I'd have Magalhaes in the middle. I'd have to go Hincapié off the left. Calafiori plays a wing back. I just want to see Timber back, man, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, big us up on the energy. We know about the games and they're coming thick and fast. We're obviously happy to be in the semi-finals. They made a decision because Declan Rice has earned it as well. The status, the role, the way he's taken ownership as well in difficult moments. He's a great leader. He's a top player. And I love the players to take ownership. That's great. On if the outcome over the 2 legs is fair, 100%. Like, it weren't amazing. We nicked it at the end at their place. I know it's not the same, but we've been victim of conceding goals at the end of games as well, people. Not really the same, but I remember league phase 2 years ago or last year, Inter Milan, definitely Sunderland, definitely Villa. This is what happens. This is football, bro. So, yeah, obviously there's going to be slight tension in a goalless draw. And for a large part of that game, you are thinking, boy, it still only is 1-0. For me, it feels like the first leg, both teams cancel each other out. Like Sporting Lisbon, very good team with some very good individuals. We know this. Big up Eze as well. Again, this wasn't meant to be here, but I did like the way he spoke before the game. I think Eze actually won Player of the Month. I don't know why it's not there. Big up Russo for winning WSL Player of the Month for March, by the way. And also Slegers, I can never say a name, for winning, the WSL Manager of the Month. It's an Arsenal thing. When we fall, we stand up. Go on, Superman Dino. What has he said? When I decided to come here, it was to live nights like this one and the ones that are to come. There are only a few weeks left. Every game is going to be do or die, so I'm preparing for the next one. The last few weeks have been strange, but at the beginning of the season, we'd have signed up to be in this position. Honest to God, I ain't read this. What did we speak about in the first half of this live stream? We still have to improve. We need more clarity in the final third. And this is it. And specifically in the final third, like, this is the opponent's box. We've gone from our box all the way here. I don't know what it is because I think it's a bit of everything. I think it's a bit of Arteta's tactics and maybe him needing to tweak things. I think it is the players. I think it's, I don't know, man. I do think it's low blocks and whatnot. Because what if Arteta, we don't know, innit? And I don't think that my eyes are showing me this. But what if Arteta has designed something to get you lot to the final third and it's you lot doing the backwards and sideways? It takes me back to what Pep said many a year ago. It's like, my job is to get you to the final third. Your job is to make it happen. I'm more onto the players for taking ownership in the final third. But generally, I think our attacking issues are on the gaffer. Because Gyökeres is bagging goals. Gyökeres might not be a world-class striker and all of that. His CV suggests he scores goals. Why was it? Obviously, there's low blocks and the way teams play against us. There's a lot of taxes that have to be applied that is not in our control. But that man can bag goals for fun. Why is it here? Because I said this was going to be the case when we signed him. Eze, why? You're doing your thing, but first half of the season, why did Eze look like that? Saka's playing shit at this moment, and I'm more onto the current version of Saka than I am on Arteta. But we've all said, imagine how Saka would be if we could just keep him further forward rather than always getting it off the halfway line. So it all depends. But we do need clarity in the final third, and we need people to take ownership and responsibility. Definitely in the knockout stages of the Champions League, and definitely with this final running. If you haven't smashed the like button, then what are you doing, folks? Please make sure you're supporting the platform. You've been in great form already. So yeah, we still have things to improve. We need more clarity in the final third. Luckily, this team defends well. We are solid. Every game is going to be a final. It's true that they are going for a very good spell. He's obviously speaking about City. But our team has proved that when we fall, we can stand up. We have that group unity that gives us that calmness to know that we'll respond. It's going to be very difficult. This is about Atletico. I know them very well. They are very competitive. They're going through a great spell, having a lot of confidence. We know them from the group stages, but this will be different. I'm not surprised by what they have done. It's a team that has invested a lot. And that's an annoying thing then, because the reality is there's 4 teams in the Champions League left, right? Exclude us for obvious reasons. Zubimendi has just said Atletico Madrid are in a good moment. Bring in the Premier League. He just said City are in a good moment. We can know, and shame on Arsenal fans that watched Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, yeah, instead of us. What kind of fans are you? But anyways, we all can see Bayern and PSG are in great moments. Then there's us, and we've still managed to get here saying all of this. So imagine if I'm not like asking you to do a complete 360, 180, whatever the angle is, but if we just get a bit more. If everyone can just give me 10% more. But this is what we signed up for. It's crunch time. What are we saying? I did like Declan Rice's comments when I saw them on social media. I hope that the Sun has kind of brought everything. They asked him, is it frustrating? Obviously, the performance. Frustrating now. We just got to a semi-final. Positivity all the way. Who cares what people think? All that matters is what this group thinks, what this manager thinks. We're in another semi-finals. I'm delighted. And it's true. Now, I think internally, they might share some elements of frustration. But the manager, the players, any damn YouTuber, when we're speaking with the pagans, like, especially if they're not pagan fans that want to have genuine football discourse and conversations, this is how we got to answer it. Forget external validation. You're never going to please people. The goalposts are always going to move. By God's grace, we win the Prem and the Champs, or one of the two. Oh, it's taken you 140 years to win the Champs. Oh, but you won the Prem. It's taken you 20-odd years, and it's taken Arteta 6 years, and you didn't win it playing well, and you didn't do this, and you didn't do that. That's the realm. Goalposts used to move all the time for us, Alex Ferguson. Won everything. Oh, you ain't win enough Champs. Wenger, oh, you didn't win the Champ. You didn't win enough Prems, despite the fact that his legacy at his legacy at Arsenal, his legacy in football goes beyond Arsenal. It's in fucking football. Pep, checkbook manager, but you couldn't win the Champs at City. Won the Champs, but you never done this, but you never done that. Klopp, there's been that. Conte, there's been that. Jose, there's been that. So if there's been great teams and great managers, if they saying that about them, boys, you got nothing to worry about. Little old Mikel Arteta and my players, respectfully, win the thing. Let them talk. Because listen, if you lot do what needs to be done, bro, every media platform, every YouTuber, by all means, if we don't win, slag us off, do what you've been doing from the beginning of time. If we win, I need the same energy. I need the same amount of praise. Not that I want it, but if you lot have any morals, guys and girls, you'll give us the same praise and the same positive energy you gave us negatively. That's one. 2, there's probably more videos about my football club than your own football club, yeah? Same energy. We're always a trending topic, even down to the way Mikel Arteta breathes. So if we win something this season, I need to see that same energy and that same commitment, people. So yeah, man, it is what it is. We'll keep going, keep playing well. We'll keep getting over the line. I hope so, Rice. Bring it on, bring on everything. I hope that is the case. This is Arsenal Football Club. There's noise with every game. If you don't play well, if you don't play good, take it with a pinch of salt and keep moving. Bring on the last few weeks. It's a roller coaster. Nobody's going to hand you anything in this game. Let's keep going. What will be, will be. Let's keep going strong. Fair enough. Of course, you have to win every game when asked them if City's a must-win. We want to win every game in the Premier League. Our record this year has been amazing in all comps. It's why we play the game. It's about how much you want it. So I know I'll be ready. I know the boys will be ready. Let's go. I mean, I am at the point where I don't want to hear talking, but the way the gaffer has spoken, Mikel Arteta, Eze before the game, Zubi and Rice, I'm cool with that. I'm on fire. I hope you are, Killy. I really, really do, man. I really hope we are on fire. And Thierry Henry, man, I have to big up Thierry Henry's comments because without Thierry Henry, it's dead, isn't it, really? I think he summed it up well, man, if I'm honest. Like, it's all I big up Rants for the raid, by the way. Thierry Henry issues Arsenal warning before Premier League title clash against City. I'm not going to keep going over this, but this is the king. I want to hear what he says. Remember, some Arsenal fans used to draw him out. Let's have it, man. Now, while Henry still believes the Gunners can win the Prem, listen, I just want to see in quotations what the legend has said. I do believe what Arteta is saying. So do I. But when you talk like that, you have to do it, which is my point of view. I don't doubt fire in belly and all of this. Showman this. That's it. That's where I'm at with Henry. And I do think maybe it's a generational thing, but I do think there's an element of negative Nancy's in our fan base and courageous losers in our fan base. And I do think there's a lot of people that are negative that don't necessarily want Arsenal to win. They just want to be part of that journey. And I also think there's some that are positive that don't really want to win. They just like being part of this because if you want to get over the line, we have to be something we haven't been before. It's no point waffling about what we're good at. It's now becomes what we're great at. Big up the Twitch gang, subscribe with Amazon Prime. And I do think some people suffer from success. Some people, we can't even have a conversation about this because we haven't got it. But you do know, by God's grace, we win the Prem and all the champs or one of them. Do you know what happens when you actually get the title over the line? Yes, especially, let's just focus on the Prem. A weight is lifted, 20 odd years. The goalposts will move, but a weight's lifted. You've done it. You know, people can shut up about the bottling thing and whatnot. But can you do it again? It's one thing getting to the mountain. It's another thing staying there. That's why Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, Usain Bolt, any good sports team, great businessman, whatever, there's been that consistency. Now everything has to go up the gears. Difficult decisions have to be made. And I think some people are scared to have that conversation. But I want to have that conversation. But to have that, you know what we need to do, innit? Your last chance is on Sunday. Because for me, it's about momentum. It's all about the eyes. Yes, even if you go and lose on Sunday, you're still top of the Premier League. But momentum, as I said earlier, everything at this moment in time is pointing to logically not being able to see an Arsenal win. Everything positive, momentum, galvanization, looking completely different from the first half of the season. Pep Guardiola, but managers with Pep individually, collectively, everything's in City's favour. I think City would, the only thing I think City would trade about them at this moment and us is literally the data. And what I mean by that is if you forget what you think about Arsenal, forget what you think about City, and you just were to look at the data, man are top with a points gap. We're in the semi-finals. That's the only thing they would swap. Because imagine that if we were feeling like how we're feeling now, it's an even more impossible task. So on one hand, it's weird because we've had a bit of a therapy session, but life could always be better, but sure as hell could be a lot worse. For me, I need to see with my eyes. I need to feel the momentum. It needs to stop. So yeah, man. But carrying on with what the King has said, I didn't see that tonight against Sporting. We are through, very happy, but I want the league. Go and win at City. I want to see that fire there. I believe it, but show it. I hope the performance against City is not like tonight or anything against Brighton, Bournemouth, or Mansfield, or anything I've seen this season. I mean, Newcastle away was great, but we ain't lying there. We're talking about the team that won 4 in a row. Liverpool came in between that, but if not, it would have been more. I want to see that fire at the Etihad. It's easy to talk. Go there at Man City and deliver. I will even bring it if you want. I do believe we can win the league. This is their biggest chance in their lives, not to just shut anyone up, but to prove to themselves as a team they can. And realistically, you lot are the first ones to win it in the new stadium and in 20 plus years. You're immortalized. When you say Arsenal, you know, a couple fans older than me, they can tell you about George Graham and all of that, DJB and Kenny, big them up. They could talk about that. I'm 31. Invincibles, the whole lot of them. There's some youths that are younger in years to come. They're thinking about you, Magalhaes, Saliba, Mikel Arteta, Bukayo Saka, even the shit players, bro. Down to you, it could be legacies. And before you talk about, there's obvious reasons to do that. Yeah, as I said, for yourselves, how many players win a Premier League title? Because it's got to have been flat when the season ends, and we've all played football. You know when you've lost the league title or when you've lost the cup, how it feels. Imagine how it will feel when you get over the line. The time for talking is done now, man. Well, it was done a long time ago, man. And I feel like I'm echoing the same things week in, week out. Then people won't talk about bottling. I heard fire. I want to see that fire at the Etihad. And this is where we stop because I don't want to hear about Jamie Carragher, whether he's speaking sense or not. It's all long. Zubimendi shut down speculation of a potential move to Real Madrid. This is long. You know you're not going to Real Madrid in the summer. We've spoken about Atletico. And like I said, desire, because it's one thing, the strongest teams. But this is how legends are made, bro. Like when I was on TalkSport, Perry Groves, I ask him about this shit all the time, bro. I ask him about 87 all the time, or whenever it was before my time. Yeah. I ask him about Michael Thomas and all them, man, and how they felt. And he even said George Graham, to this day, he don't even know if George Graham was capping to him or not. He said, boys, I believe he could do this thing. But they've got to believe it. And then keeping up with my generation, when we went to Old Trafford and won the league, remember there was injuries and whatnot. And if nothing will inspire you, is this. I can't lie, this was funny. This is mad, someone rubbing his head. But what City fans, some City fans said they weren't winning the league. Even Bottlers Arsenal, margin for error. They weren't first half of the season or up until the Real Madrid game to now. No City fan was doing no interviews. The camera weren't panning there. Why are they doing that? Rightly so. The City fans, the City team and Pep have made them remember, yo, actually City can do this. Even in our deadest season, we've won a trophy. We could actually do a domestic treble in which, if you looked at it with no context, God forbid, obviously, but if you ask them in August, You're gonna only quote unquote win 3 of the 4 cups. We can't give you context behind it. How you gonna play this, that, and the third? So you can win the Prem, the FA, and the League Cup. It's a great season, no? This guy's a hero in school. I believe his name's Yaya. I put this with some AI. He's a City fan. He's a hero in school. Everybody's rating your dad. I want him to go to school looking like a prick. People like that, they're getting at me. They're saying this and that and the other, bro. And don't get twisted. I love the banter. I will say this: Arsenal physios, no water. Don't be a nice Samaritan, because if you've watched this interview, you got that because they never had water. The physio gave this lad it. This, you knew that this was coming. He, grown man keeping a water bottle. He's mad, especially as it's not an investment. But great. If City do win the league, God forbid, you might as well donate that to charity or do an auction thing. The sporting captain who has an Arsenal badge slammed our boring time-wasting tactics. Great stuff, man. The game had low intensity and no rhythm, 0 goals, and I would say boring. That helps us, bro. The impact of the first game that we lost made it more difficult to go to the Emirates and win, and we've been linked with him. Decent player. When we don't lose often at home, we knew it would be difficult here. And to be fair, when they went to Bodo Glint, they got slapped still. But the game had low intensity and no rhythm, 0 goals, and I would say boring. You know what? Away from obviously all the things I've been critical on, that helps us a hell of a lot. If I was a viewer from the outside 0-0, also the first game 1-0, it's not the way Sporting wants to show itself. We want to score goals, create chances, and we didn't do it. During the game, I felt a lot of stops, especially during set pieces. It takes a lot of time out of the game. When we did get the rhythm, we did create a lot of chances, especially in the first half. But at the end, we didn't create enough to win the game, to be honest. That's your business. The word proud is the right word for all the players for what they have done for these 2 games. You know, big up Sporting Lisbon, man. Very impressed with their manager and how they kind of played. I want to know you lot's thoughts on some of this, the social media angle. Tim Stillman has said, and you know, Rice spoke about taking things with a pinch of salt. You got to take the PR heads with a pinch of salt. I do think they're intellectually dishonest sometimes. Thought it was a really interesting game. At no point did we sit tonight slightly alive. Even when we get a free kick, Raya got the ball in stoppage time. We played it quickly. Would be interested to know if that was a long-term psychological thing or tactic for this game. Ball went out for a throw on 89th minute. Arteta ran to get it and get the game restarted. Felt very pointed. But these things should be a minimum. You shouldn't need to kick up the arse. No doubt whatsoever that this is a stressful way to advance to the semi-final, says James Benge. But Arsenal haven't allowed a shot since the 60th minute. In fact, they've given up 4 in the second half. And as much as everything's focused around mentality and attack, I'll keep telling you, look, we need to get back to those standards defensively. So I'll isolate to that. It's something to build on. The attack has meant the out of possession work has had to be very good after a wobble. It's been, again, got to take with a pinch of salt. Anthony Gordon's been linked with Bayern Munich, and apparently he's keen to explore his options. I only take stock in Anthony Gordon because the David Ornsteins, the Romanos, these kind of journalists, like, they always speak about, like, we're interested in a minute. So be braced. 1 year his loan fee is tied to minutes. The more he plays, the less Marseille pay, L'Equipe reports. Despite this, Habib Bey, he hasn't started. Despite this, under Habib Bey, he hasn't started a single game in 2 months, with the newspaper citing a persistent impression of nonchalance. To be fair, I just think that's the way he is, people. We're still being linked with Julian Alvarez. It's a myth, people. We hope to have Noni obviously back. What have we got here? Oh, I think it's the same thing. And you know what? These things change you. Obviously, I would have preferred for you to stay at Arsenal, but like, you've grown as a man. You've gone to another country, new language. You've had 2 managers. This is real life. When you come out of the academy, you're kind of fostered a bit. I'd love to see Wanyeri integrated next season. For me, I think I wouldn't be against him staying in France. Obviously, not under this manager. It's a physical league. 1 or 2 years, very good Premier League loan. You're ready, man. You're ready. Anthony Gordon is open to leaving Newcastle this summer, opening the door to a potential blockbuster transfer to a major Premier League rival. I remember once United were linked with him. Chelsea seemed to be on his heels a lot when he was at Everton. And really, it really is Liverpool, Bayern Munich have thrown their way into the ring, and Arsenal are persistently linked with him. Might as well just go get Morgan Rogers. I like his mentality. I like him. I'm not really convinced with any of the wide options. I'd rather us just go heavy in centre mid and just stretch the money out. And if you're going to sign a left wing, you might do the scouting thing. Like, I like Anthony Gordon. Am I 100% convinced? No. Nico Williams the same. Rafa Leao the same. I'm just throwing names out there that are linked with us. I'd rather just go and see Morgan Rogers, just slap that piece on him. Can play off the left, man. And he's obviously an option in the middle of the park as well. And on the right. Big up Zuba Mendinho. We've earned a club record 124 million euros in prize money from the Champions League this season. So this is why new contracts are being done. Is there anything new we're going to learn here with the De Zerbi thing and Wanyeri stuff? He started well, but this is unfortunate. This is the issue, man. Like, this is it, man. He played 12 times for Arsenal. How many times has he played for Marseille in totality now? Don't matter, man. But yeah, it is what it is, people, where that's concerned. But main thing, you know what we need to do in it on Sunday. But yeah, I've been airing you lot just to get through that. Yeah, so one love. I've been airing you lot just to get through things. Big up Rants for the raid once again. Hit the lights coming in, but DJ, apart from the intangibles, heart, desire, passion, we're gassed of everything. Do you think that is enough for City? I think City are gonna win, but at the very minimum, you just have to make it difficult. Don't roll over. That's it now. The only thing I think at this moment in time, yeah, this is something Pep and the players will be reminding themselves is not to get too giddy. We were shit in the first half of the season by our standards. We've got it. The only thing I think can harm City at this moment is complacency. If they think their game's done, I don't even think like City still have weaknesses. But as I keep saying, they're playing a level above us. They've been in this territory before. Momentum is with them. I don't want to keep saying it, but for me, the only positive around this and where I am is they bleed just like us. They're human just like us. And it's more of a want for my boys to put it right. Logically, with the eyes, but then as much as football is a logical game based on probabilities and all of that jazz, it's also illogical. Some of the best moments, the best goals, the best individuals announcing themselves, it hasn't made sense. And I do think at times there's too much of things need to make sense at our club, man. Yeah, some mistakes are us trying to control the game to a fault. Actually playing and trying things and mistakes coming from that is more daring and at least respectable. There you have it. Look, I don't like Arteta, but you can't shield players from scrutiny. They're the ones on the field and can make things happen. They need to have personality and hunger. I think he recognizes that, man. You can't protect them. But it's about the message he sends out. And to be honest, I just think they're trying to rally up the troops as well. Okay, whatever the reason, I just don't like the narrative. The best players play the most games. We all miss Marino, man. Yeah, but you can think that about Gyökeres. I don't think Gyökeres is the best thing since sliced bread, but at the end of the day, he's put in a shift. He's a limit. Nobody can convince me that if we played more attacking, Gyökeres would not get more goals. And you cannot convince me whatever you think about this man. You slap him at some more attacking teams. You can still fault his first touch, link up play, all that kind of stuff. Whatever you got to say about Gyökeres, you wouldn't see more. That's my thing now. Like, I think there's an element of accepting a number of individuals at this club, what they are, play to their strengths, hide their weaknesses. Let's keep moving. And no one can have smoke for Gyökeres. 18 Premier League goals. Been doing his job this season. Even when we lost the League Cup, I said, you and Saliba, you're the only ones I ain't got. You look like you're fucking up for the fight. I've got time for Gyökeres in that regards. Of recent, he has been. Hopefully, yesterday was a marker to stop the rut, man. No performance, no results. Same eyed Arteta. I'm not sure what the second half means. I like the streams when he stops swearing. Don't like the fucking streams. Fuck. What the man, bro? This ain't a dictation, my dickhead. Don't like it then. Like, you think your shit don't stink? Don't like it then. The fuck? Oh, big up everyone who's actually hit the like button. This is football. You think players don't swear? Can only be myself. Go and listen to Radio Clean Edits. Go somewhere else. There's millions of YouTube channels. Who gives the monkeys? They're the comments that annoy me. Like, you think your shit don't stink and the world revolves around you. You got something else coming, lad. Not gonna lie, very worried about how we're limping through games. Doesn't bode well at all. City win this weekend makes them the favourites. Probably the favourites already, mate. Probably the favourites already. Where is where it is. We would love a Thierry Henry, man. Like, obviously, it can't. Obviously, let's even. We all love Henry and Patrick Vieira in the starting 11 and many players, yeah. But let's just kind of keep it. It's not really modern day, but if we kind of keep it modern day, yeah. Imagine we could just find an Alexis Sanchez for that left hand side and actually playing as a false nine, but an Alexis, a Santi Cazorla in the middle of the park. Obviously, he's not to these man's level, yeah. But from what I think I see in the day and age of systemic football, and it's there's not really much space, and it's more about athletes. Aaron Ramsey, he'd get a lot of goals from midfield, and that's actually a rare. How many midfielders? There are some, of course, like Bruno's one. Like, how many midfielders actually get strong goal returns? Not really done it this season, but generally in the last 2 years, Rice has kind of done that for us. Not too many goal scoring midfielders. And if they are goal scoring midfielders, are they organic? Like I would describe Morgan Rogers historically in the last couple of years as that. But has he been playing in midfield? Something like a back three might have to run, alternative like that though, radical. Sometimes you gotta try something. And I'm at the point, yeah, like I don't mind, I don't want mistakes, but if you're making mistakes forcing the issue, if you're leaving it all out there, if you're trying new things, like I can say fair enough in it, because at least you're actively trying something new. If you don't do nothing new, it's dark, innit? Essentially. We are still the faves, even if City beat us, by the way. I hear that. I'm going on momentum in it, because if I'm City, feeling sorry for ourselves this season, Real Madrid dealt with us, League Cup final, and I actually think City thought they were going to lose it, because they were obviously celebrating, but they probably thought we was going to give much more of a fight. And you could see what that meant for them. That could have been their little make or break week or whatever, like what we're talking about at this moment in time and what's left of their season. Beat us, bit between their teeth, slapped Chelsea. Obviously, they slapped Liverpool. They got a couple of days rest now. They're here. So for me, with the eyes, with the tactics, with the changing in tactics, with the momentum, with the galvanization, City still are presenting chances. First half, we could have deaded it. Chelsea could have got some goals. I think Cucurella was offside from what I remember. City are still not perfect, but they're doing their thing. So this is why I make them as favourites. And if we lose on Sunday, there's a reality I could see everything I want to see on, like I keep saying, there's a reality I could see everything I want to see on Sunday. We go and win on Sunday. I still don't think it's over. We lose, I still don't think it's over. So, like, where are we going with it? And for me, why I make them favourites is what I see with my eyes. I don't need no statistics. Statistics are always the house always wins, innit? I'm not trying to hear that. Because on top of everything, you have to go to a ground now where the away fans are going to make noise, but you're not in your backyard. And also, you ain't won at the Etihad in how long? Show me something. Show me something. Show me something. Shout out Rice. Even though you're trying to be snooty, but yeah, shout out Rice. Bad Chair Nation. No, but I mean, come on, bro. I don't like it when he's top swearing. Love all of you lot here, but come on, man. Get over yourselves, bro. Been a while, DG. Big up you and the fam. League's done, fam. This team is confused. The team is woefully poor up front. We have more chance winning the Champions League because we are just moving random. You're at the point in the Champions League now where I actually think we'll give a good. I think when we lost to PSG collectively, I think we matched them. But the moments, second leg, what happened? First leg, what happened? Bayern Munich, we coped in the quarterfinals. What happened? There is an element of, yes, you'd love to be perfect from minute 0 to minute 90, but typically when Real Madrid have won the Champions League, have they been the best team across 2 legs? Obviously, this is their first time with no trophies in 16 years, but there's been a moment, whether it's the usual suspects or the unlikely heroes. That's why I said, on top of the obvious, that's why I said at the start of the stream, obviously the manager and the players all have to make it happen. But for the Champions League and what's left of it and the hope and whatnot, obviously, I actually have faith that Arteta will set us up in a way we're not going to get embarrassed. But if it comes down to margins, obviously he needs to, do things in attack. But I'm more looking at the players because obviously Atletico Madrid, they've got that siege mentality. PSG, obviously, tactics, great team. Same with Bayern Munich. But their players are really playing out their skin. Diaz is playing out of his skin. Elise Kane playing out their skin. Ballon d'Or shouts. Dembele is moving like he's still broke, like he's still hungry, and all of them other carrot skeeler, the list goes on. Atletico Madrid, Julian Alvarez can do a thing, Griezmann can do a thing, all those kind of things. My players have the capacity to, and ironically, in the Champions League, we've probably been a bit more entertaining in the league phase, but now I need to look at my players. Can you get us out of trouble? If we do cope tactically, and let's just say Atletico have 1-2 chances, Raya gets us out of trouble, it's the last 10 minutes. Eze, Gyökeres, Saka, this one, that one, can they make something? Now, flipping that, the Premier League for me is on the gaffer. Obviously, the players, like I said, the players, I'm more looking to you in the champs. Arteta, I'm looking to you in the Prem. Because it's your tactics. It's what you stick to doing. It's how you revert to things. It's how you evolve certain things. It's how you can get these boys together. And everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly about you this season, about you in general, all that stuff. It's you in it. So, yeah, man. 89, yeah, apologies. Perry, no, bro. Speaking to Perry Groves is a pleasure, bro, because some of the people let it go over their heads. Like, my man was a baller, bro. My man's been booed at Arsenal. My man's won a league title, turned up in trophies. He's seen good moments. He's seen bad moments. It's a wealth of experience, man. And I can't lie. Perry Groves, a bit like DJB. They remind me of some of my old school football coaches. I like that. I do think football's gone a bit soft. I do like it in certain aspects, but I do think it's gone a bit soft. I think it's very wrong that you can't just say you were shit. Bollocks. Like, I come from a reality is certain man's mum in Sunday League would tell you you're playing shit. They don't even care about football. All they care about is my son plays for this team. I've got a week of work. I've still got to wash my clothes and clean my yard and do all of that. I got work on Monday. It's 9 in the morning. It's raining. It's cold. You man are playing shit. These are the things. Like, maybe it's a society thing, to be fair, man. Man are over 40. I'm getting close, man. 9 more years. Coca-Cola buy the patent for this bottle if we actually bottle. Damn. It's a coin toss who's going to win the Prem. I mean, I did say it was going to the last day of the season, innit? I wish it ain't, unless it's Arsenal. I think our stagnant form whilst being in the champs will actually put more pressure on City this weekend. I don't think City have pressure. I think the only spanner in the works for City can be complacency. If they think the game's won already, then it's won, innit? Then it's not won. Pep's not going to allow that. The players are not going to remind that. That's it. That's it. Like, this will go. This is how the weeks like this with the form and the narrative. This is how you make things happen. When we won in the Invincibles, we had a terrible week when we went out the champs and whatnot. Henry stood up. I'm not asking you lot to be Thierry Henry. I'm not asking you lot to be the Invincibles. It's a different dynamic. I am asking you to stand up to be counted, though. Man are saying playing Norgard in a 9. They're taking a piss, man. After 6 years, we're still going playing Man City every game to not lose. This is beyond perfect. To be fair, what Premier League game do you go into? Does every manager not approach every game to not lose? Unpopular opinion, I've always disagreed with it. I don't think Arteta goes into games not wanting to win and being negative. I think those conversations come with obviously how he's setting up. I don't think he goes, I don't want to lose today. I'm going to be a pussy. I do think in game management, he overthink. Like, I've thought so much about this game and I've stayed up all night that I can't consider what's going on. And as I said, football is about probabilities and all of those things. But there's an element that's unknown, that's random, that you can't bet on. And if I'm looking at the gaffer, there's certain things. The fact that you were a coach at Manchester City, the fact that, with the greatest of respect to Everton, you not only played for Everton, you played for a team that, you know, the gap has kind of changed in it. Like, anyone can beat anyone, but they were games you had to hang on and be brave and do all of those things. I know the game's changed, but it also hasn't. It's these kind of things I don't really get. Also, you've come from La Masia, you've been around as a coach and as a player, certain attackers. Sometimes I can't question mark the use of midfield, the recruitment, all of these kind of things. There's so much things I can praise and critique. We're not getting Rodgers, but it'd be lovely, man. Hit the likes. Offside trap, appreciate you, man. Now, getting to the semi-finals means something, but we're past all of that, man. Not happy to be here, bro. It's like I'm in the rave. I need to be able to buy some bottles, buy a drink, have the confidence to go chat to gal, like cop wines. I don't just want to be in the building for building's sake, because it's another thing that reflects we're a good team. Even as much as we've been bitching, we're a good team. It's about being a great one now, man. It's now being a great one. PSG are better, bro. Way better. Way better. But the best team don't always win the champs. As I said, for me, I'm looking at the players for the Champions League. I'm looking at the gaffer for what's left of the Premier League. What do you think about Arsenal winning on goal difference? I think it's a non-story. I know it's being peddled now. Nah. Because even if we beat City, it means nothing if you fuck up against Newcastle. But DG isn't this superficial. His history, his background means nothing for a team to deliver on the pitch. What are you referring to directly? It's hard to keep up. Arteta can't be the only manager risking it. Why is it always on us to take risks? Which is true, but I can only talk on this channel. Like, there's obviously a focus on Arsenal Football Club, innit? Against Liverpool, we saw PSG able to lock off Liverpool and defend well. Bayern has the quality going forward, but league goals. Yeah, they're league goals, but you're going to take them. City will give you chances. Are you going to take them? I wouldn't say we had chances in the League Cup final, but one does wonder. Kai, you do something with that. Saka, what happens? Goals change games at any moment. Big up DG. We as fans have to start being objective, not subjective. When things go wrong, it's the players, and right, then it's Arteta, this is Aram. Football isn't sustainable and catching up sadly won't change. It is what it is, Vincent, man. Like, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Big up Perry Groves. I just need to see people standing up to be counted. We should utilize free kicks and everything, but we need more open play goals. And we did it 2 seasons ago. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. There's nothing else, really and truly. There's nothing else. I will say this, though, people. I'm going to wrap it up here. We've somehow been here for 90 minutes. Big up to my regulars. Big up to you lot that came over from Rants. Large up Rants as well. Shout out to you lot on Twitch. Make sure you're subscribing with Amazon Prime. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. Please drop a comment in the comment section after the vid. And make sure you're smashing the likes. In literally just under an hour. Apologies, people. I'm going to have Jess. So it's a chance for me to shout up, entertain you lot's comments, and see how she's feeling about Arsenal and all of those kind of things, man. But we've been here for a football match. It's been 90 minutes in it. So, yeah, man, you lot stay safe, stay blessed, and keep the energy, folks.
You can look in my eyes and see I ain't no bitch, nigga. I ain't hiding behind no another man. I ain't hiding behind no motherfucking computer or none of that shit, nigga. If it's war, it's a war. We just bang out, nigga. Bang out, nigga.